Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high. Cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold on, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live. Somebody, let's go.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, good evening, and good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Hope you guys are all doing well out there. Hope this show finds you in good spirits because another day above the dirt is always a blessing. Let's not forget that. Let's not forget that. Missed you guys yesterday, but I did have a couple pop-ups on pop-up videos on the second channel, so I didn't miss you guys too much. But at the same time, a lot of things have been going on. The news has been newsing. And we got things to talk about today. We got a lot to talk about. It's a big smattering of different pieces of news. We're going to start off with a couple things, and then we're going to get into our main title, okay, into our main conversation. We're doing something a little bit different today because there's a lot going on in the world, and I can't do 15,000 lives, okay, in regards to those things. So trying something new today. Trying something I haven't done in a long time. Let me just say that. Trying something I haven't done in a very, very long time. So we are going to be getting into the main topic here, but there are going to be some other pieces of information because there's a lot of things going on in the news that I really do want to talk to you guys about, and then some. And then we're going to, of course, get into the nitty gritty. Okay. But please do me a favor. Before we get into everything, hit that like button down below. Please and thank you. Crush it. Do what it do. Make it scream out your doggone name. I haven't said that in a while as well. Hit that like button down below. Please. Thank you. Okay. Hit that follow button if you're watching on Facebook, X/Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Rumble. Show some love. Just make sure you hit that follow button over there. Make sure you're subscribed here on this main channel. Go to my secondary channel, The Pascal Show Clips. Make sure you're subscribed to both, okay? Because we got a lot going on. There's a lot of new changes, new orders, new things that our new president is signing off and doing, and there's a lot of things that some things I'm talking about over there that I'm not talking about over here, and vice versa. And some things are bleeding over, like this particular main topic you're seeing above or down below, wherever you're seeing this title right now. So make sure you're subscribed to both channels, all right? Make sure that notification bell is set to all, so you know whenever I go live, whenever I upload, because a lot of times it's breaking and it's very random. So just go with it, all right? Also, hit that join button down below. Become a member. Check out that membership. That'll be greatly appreciated. Check out my Patreon and my locals. And, of course, do not forget, if you want to support even further, check out PascalMerch.com. We got some really great stuff over there. Trust me, you'll find something you're going to love over there as well, all right? Please and thank you. All right, guys, we got to get straight into the nitty gritty. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. And I'm telling you, this is some very, very interesting stuff. Now, before we go into the main topic today, like I said, there's a smattering of different things that have been going on in the news lately. And some things I missed and I wanted to be able to cover with you guys today. And like I said, it's going to be a mixture of different things. Not only are we going to get into the main topic, which is what you see on the title, but we are going to be talking about other things that are going on in the news as well. And there's a lot of things that are going on in the news right now. Okay, so first and foremost, I don't know about you guys, but I do feel some type of way about flying. If you know me, I'm not the biggest fan of flying. Okay, I don't like flying. Not the biggest fan. But an airline is doing something a little bit different right now. And they're changing their policies for their passengers when they get on a plane. And one airline that I'm talking about specifically is Spirit Airlines. Now, Spirit Airlines is updating their dress code policy for all of their passengers. Let's get into this, all right? Let me just share this so you guys know what the hell is going on, okay? Some of the updates give examples for already existing rules, but new restrictions on lewd tattoos and body art are a new addition. Hold on. Let's take a look at this, okay? Now, and it's Spirit and it's Spirit Airlines. So yeah. Spirit Airlines. Yeah. Spirit Airlines. Yeah. So, having an offensive tattoo or wearing see-through clothing could get you kicked off your next Spirit Airlines flight. The airline recently revised its quote-unquote contract of carriage document. Carriage. How fitting. Get it? Because some of y'all packing. And that sounded weird. That you know what I mean. Some of y'all coming out lethal. Real talk. Some of y'all got some serious carriage. No one's getting that. Moving on. So, contract of carriage document, okay, which outlines a code of conduct that passengers must follow. The latest update describes being inadequately clothed. I don't know why I can't say that word, okay? So, as far as see-through clothing, not adequately covered, exposed chesticles, okay, buttocks, and other private parts. It also flags having a tattoo that is lewd, obscene, or offensive in nature. Now, did Spirit really change their dress code? All right. The restriction on clothing has technically been in the Spirit contract of carriage for years, but lacked specific examples until now. A previous version of the document from January 2024 also prohibited passengers who were quote unquote barefoot or inadequately clothed, or whose clothing is lewd, obscene, or offensive in nature. That language in the older contract is similar to the updated guidelines, but left more room for interpretation by airline staff. The new addition about body art, which appears to mainly refer to tattoos, is written in a similar way, leaving room for interpretation. The section of tattoos does not give examples of what kind of tattoo would be considered quote unquote lewd, obscene, or offensive in nature. Customers may need to conceal tattoos or put on additional clothing in order to meet the guidelines and be allowed to be on the flight. While updates may be new, guidelines for what airline passengers can wear have been around for years and have caused numerous problems for flyers. Now, let me just say this, okay? Because, of course, they say right now, of course, there's been a lot of problems with people wearing particular clothing. I don't even know if people still wear like juicy, like just all across their butt and all that stuff. I don't know if they're sitting there talking about that, okay? But I will say this. I approve this message. It's about damn time. Upgrade that ish. You want to know why? You want to know why I say that? Okay, like don't get me wrong. When you're in the privacy of your own domicile, wear what you want. Do what you want. If you in a club and they don't give a damn what you wear what you want, baby. But you on a plane. There are kids on this plane. There's family members on the plane. Not everybody needs to see the butt. Nobody needs to see it. Okay? No one needs to see all up inside of you. No one. No one cares what you're wearing on a plane too, by the way, guys. Real talk. Why do people do this? Please explain this to me. Why is it that people will go and they walk on the plane like they're in a damn hip-hop music video? Think about it for a second. There used to be a time where there was a little bit of class when it came to flying on planes. Real talk, there used to be a little bit of class. Actually, even more than just a little bit of class. There was a hell of a lot of class when people used to fly back in the day. Back in my day. But back in the day. Way back in the day. And then suddenly it just, clothing got less and just the human decency just went out the window. See, I have no problem like what S-Dubs has said, okay? I have no problem with you rocking a hoodie and some sweats and some baggy jeans or some flip-flops or some slides on a plane. Be comfortable because it's uncomfortable being on a plane. Let's be real, okay? You, especially if you're a tall guy like myself, there's no space on a damn plane for tall people. There's no place for tall people on a plane. Look at the bathrooms themselves. If you're tall, you're out here and you're a guy, you don't get to sit down like the girls. I mean, if you have to sit down, you got to sit down, but at the same time in a plane. But sometimes if you just want to, quick whip, take the whiz and leave, right? Make sure you wash your hands and then leave. You can't really do that in those doggone bathrooms in the plane. If you're a big guy, it's this all day long. And you're trying to get down there and unzip. The hard part's unzipping, real talk. So you're down there and you're trying to unzip and you're doing all this and everything's just contorted and twisted. And I'm not talking about the wee-wee. I'm just talking about your body. And as you're trying to do that, you're also trying as hard as you can not to pee on your doggone self. Come on now. Come on now. Then the other part, because you're over the hill, but you still got to get down the hill. And that part is putting the equipment back into its holster. And then at the same time, zipping that mug up. But you're already like contorted like this. Like the damn elephant man, just contorted. Come on now. It's not fun. So please be comfortable. But why you got to have everything out for everyone to see? Little kids are going to see this stuff too. Here's the other thing too that drives me absolutely up the wall. All right. Why do people dress like they about to go on to the beach when they about to get on a mother-loving plane? Someone explain that to me. Just talk to me really quick. Talk to me. Because you see some girls walking in with like all their ass out. All of it out. And they wearing the like as if they're about to jump onto the beach in the plane. I don't see no ocean. I don't see no sand inside the mother-loving plane. So please explain that to me. Okay? Ladies, stop it. This whole thing of them upgrading the dress code is about doggone time. And in fact, I wouldn't be surprised if they try to push this same thing in other planes. And don't act all surprised if they're sitting there going like you walking in like you just came in from a gentleman's club. Respectfully, cover yourself. Cover yourself. Exactly. Dame, respect yourself. Dagnabbit. Respect yourself. Is that too hard to ask? Because like I said, you're not going to get discovered suddenly in the plane because you just wore something that had Versace on it or Gucci or Hermes or whatever the hell it is. That's not going to solve and change your world. It's not. And besides, any person who's trying to step to you, they're probably a creep anyway. They're probably not even worth it. They're a single serving friend. If you get what I'm saying. Just stupid. It's just so wrong. I'm sick and tired of it. Real talk. And I mean, I feel like that's the same thing when you go into Walmart. Oh my damn. And let me just say this too. I mean, that's another conversation in itself, but I'm just being real. You walk into a Walmart is a completely different situation. Holy cow. I'm just like, how aren't you cold? It's like negative 1,000 degrees outside, baby. You ain't cold. You walked in with flip-flops on and nothing else but duct tape and dental floss on. And that's okay. But you really, really needed to get your eggs and milk today. Make that make sense. So, in my personal opinion, when it comes to this dress code being upgraded and giving some updates in the dress code, thank you. Because there's the other side too. There are people that will wear some really offensive political type of stuff on as well. It might be F the police. It might be, I don't know, all lives matter or something of that sort. You know what I mean? Something that somebody finds offensive. Because let's be real, it could also be BLM. It could also be all lives matter. It could be all that stuff. All right. If you wear something that is politically charged, you can cause some issues on the doggone plane. So it's the same thing as somebody rocking a MAGA hat, as the same thing as somebody wearing a BLM hat. So when I look at this, I'm like, yes, please update your dress codes. Because let's be real, everything's getting crazy on these planes. Also, let's talk about these viral videos that have been out here like a mug. Have they not been, a lot of them, or a good portion of them, been charged because of, or started because of their what that person agrees with or what that person doesn't agree with, and so on? I'm just saying, at some point, there has to be a place where people can get on a plane or get into a vehicle or a mode of transportation and get there and back in one piece, safely without having any issues with anything. Because let's be real. Now you're going to have these little kids looking at these, let's just say, scantily clad men or women on a plane when they didn't ask for that. They didn't ask for that vision burned into their oculars. Hell no. Let's be real. Same thing with the hateful tattoos, T-shirts, anything that stands for anything radical or a politically biased. It's not the place to be putting your stuff out there, literally and metaphorically speaking. So with this, I agree with it 100%. Make it an even ground, even the playing field. Make it even. And make sure the only reason why they're fighting each other in the plane is because one person had too much to drink. Not because of what they're wearing or what's tattooed on their body or the lack of clothing that they have on their body. So I'm with this 100%. They need to do this for every single damn plane. I'm just going to be real. Every single damn airline, every single damn one. Please and thank you. Moving on to the next story. I'm happy about that. I'm like, yes, because have you been on a Spirit airline flight? I haven't been on one in a really, really long time, but I've seen plenty. I've seen plenty of videos and stuff like that. And I'm telling you right now, they need to stitch that thing up. Real talk. Don't get me wrong. If you can get cheap airline tickets, by all means, I'm not here to judge. Get you some cheap airline tickets. But at the same time, though, why do we have to act cheap? Why do we? And I don't give a damn if you got your new summer body or you just got that BBL a couple months ago and now everything's popping. I don't care. Wait to show that off in the appropriate areas in which you can go and show it off at. But real talk, me and my kids, me and my family and all that stuff, we don't need to see all that. You share that with the right person. That right person's not in here, not in this plane. Real talk. I got better things to do. And maybe some of y'all agree with that as well. But moving on, we're getting into this next piece because, like I said, there's a lot that's been going on in the world. And I needed to talk to you guys about all of this. Okay. Like I said, we need to bring class back into the world again because we don't have classiness is gone. Okay. Maybe I'm just sounding like an old head. Okay. I'm in the background just listening to music. Forever and forever. Like I'm not sitting here acting like an old head. I'm just looking at things and going, damn, where's the class? What happened to class? What happened to that swagger? Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of swagger out here in these streets and it's dope. But then there's a lot of swagger that you're like, ooh, come on. Why did we downgrade? We don't need to downgrade. Let's go. Let's upgrade. Let's always level up. That's just what I think. All right. But we got to get into this next piece. I think this is interesting. This is very interesting. Now, I just did a pop-up video about this, but I'm going to share this with you guys anyway, because there are things that are going on politically out here in this world, and we need to talk about it and get used to it. We're going to be talking about political things on this platform. We do talk about political things on this platform when big things happen, and there's a lot of big things that have happened over the past couple days since Donald Trump was inaugurated. It's been insane, but this is something I'm very excited about, and hopefully it goes down the route I hope it goes down the route it goes down, what they're saying it's going to go down. Now, Donald Trump, our newly elected president, all right, he signed a new order to declassify, to release, to uncover everything revolving around JFK, RFK, and Martin Luther King Jr.'s unaliving. Now, one thing I want to say is, I'm excited. But let me just cut that really quick. I am excited. But I do have some reservations revolving around this, and I will explain here in a second. So let's take a look at this article. Now, he's blowing the lid off. President Trump is blowing the lid off of secret files that may reveal the truth behind some of the most consequential political unalivings in American history. So he signed an order yesterday ordering the FBI and other agencies to release all documents relating to the assassinations of John F. K. Jr., his brother Robert Kennedy, and also Martin Luther King Jr. And he wants full disclosure stat. Now, this is insane because, and that Ruthless, you just read my mind. Like I said, I'm going to get to that. Trust and believe, Ruthless. We are going to get to that. But here's the thing, okay? I'll just show you what he said real quick, okay? Yes, I agree as well, all right? Now, here's the thing, though. My question is this going to be a full-on redaction, that a bunch of things are going to be redacted, or is he saying, warts and all, release it all, release the hounds kind of thing, right? Release it all. Show us everything. No BS, no black ink, marking out people's names and whatever. Put it all out there for everyone to see. I hope that is the truth. I hope that won't be the factor. That they're going, okay, we're going to give you everything, but we just used 15,000 permanent markers just to redact everything out of all of the files because we need to protect all these people. But I'm hoping they show everything from what they found out, that led to the actual unalivings of these individuals. But also, I'm hoping this also means that they show everything about the investigations as well, showing where they messed up, showing how they were able to lead to Oswald, or how they were able to lead to any of these other people that were involved in the unaliving of these huge political and public figures. Something to think about, right? But he also signed the order in the Oval Office, telling the crowd, people have been waiting for this moment for decades. And yes, we have. We all have, right? Trump also told an aide to give the pen that he actually used to sign the document to RFK Jr. Obviously, he is the new pick for Human and Health Services Secretary. So he's about to jump into this new part, and he is part of Trump's whole administration. So Trump says there are no national security concerns that will be compromised by the release of these documents. But I'm wondering about that too, because let's be real. If you're sitting there saying, hey, if they're really sitting there saying, hey, there's no concerns over the world losing its mind or this country losing its mind, how does he know? Unless he knows everything. I am kind of curious as to what would he know that's going to be released that would make him say, oh, there's nothing to worry about. There ain't nothing to worry about. Don't worry about any of that. We good. We Gucci. I am kind of curious about that. Real talk. Okay, so in the case of John F. Kennedy, the word on the street of D.C. was that a foreign government possibly Cuba was behind this unaliving. And like I said, I would like to know everything from who brought these people on, to who are these, who paid or hired these particular assailants to do what they did, or did these assailants do this stuff themselves on their own recognizance? That's one thing I think a lot of us are trying to get the answer and been wanting to get the answer for a long time. And that's the same thing that goes for RFK. That's the same thing that also goes for Martin Luther King Jr. as well. Why did these things happen and who were behind all of those things? And I'm hoping that stuff does come out and it's true. And also squashes conspiracy theories. But we're going to talk about some more things about that here in a second. The plan for releasing the JFK files must be presented in 15 days. A plan for releasing the RFK and MLK documents must be made in 45 days. So in about a month and a half, they will be trickling out. Within the next month and a half, they'll be trickling out all kinds of information, JFK information, all the way down to RFK as well, MLK as well. I'm just saying it'll be all of these three. All those documents will be coming out, which is a very big deal. Records related to President Kennedy's have been released slowly over the years. And President Trump promised during his first term that he would facilitate the release of the documents still classified. And now he's making up for what he said he was going to do in his first term. He signed that ish and he said, hey, we're going to get this stuff out. I said it was going to come out. He even said this during his campaign for this presidential election. He said, I will release all the documents revolving around JFK. He did say that indeed. But I am kind of scared, though, because for a fact, even when you give people the truth, even if you give people, and it's all pending on if it's fully 110% the truth. But when you give people the truth and it's written in black and white, people still will try to move the goalpost in many ways, in as many possible ways as they can. People get very inventive with their brains. Okay. People start wearing the tinfoil hat even more, even after you give them here's everything, warts and all. Here is the truth, y'all. Just read the doggone paper. What it says in black and white is that. No, I did not skip a word. Reread it. Don't add more stuff. But that's one thing I'm worried about. If things are not redacted and it's fully 100% warts and all the truth, people will still take this and they're going to move the goalpost or change things as much as they can to fit their own mind in their own narrative that they have in their head, instead of looking at it and going, oh, damn, let's just say hypothetically, this man who, this assailant that took out JFK ran and did this all by himself. Let's just say that that's in the thousands of documents, I'm sure, that they are going to release. For a fact, somebody out there is still going to move the goalposts and go, nope. It was ancient aliens. You know what I mean? You already know what I'm talking about. So I am a little nervous about them bringing out this stuff because, sure, people are like, oh, man, hold on to your butts. It's about to get crazy up in this mother lover once this stuff gets dropped. But there's another part of me that goes, yeah, I'm sure everyone's going to lose their minds to a certain extent. But I also believe that other people are going to look at this and go, oh, that's what happened? Okay, cool. Wow. Now we know the truth. Wow, that's crazy. And then they just move on. But there will be those conspiracy theorists that'll still sit there and go, no, man, it was ancient aliens. I'm telling you, man, it was ancient aliens. And they'll keep that till they're in a cinder block, until they're in a cedar block box 6 feet under. That's what they're going to do. Unfortunately, that's just how it is. Okay. But I am very interested about this too. What about 9/11 docs? What about them 9/11s? I think a lot of people would like to know the truth about that one as well. Oh, what about J. Epi? What about them too? That's one thing that they need to be bringing out too. What about the J. Eppies? What about the J. Eppies, though? Huh? I'm curious about that one as well, because I feel that there are a lot of people that are begging for Trump to release that information as well. And I'll tell you what, I'd really, really like to see him release the J. Epi, the 9/11s, and all of those things. Let's not forget. I'm sorry, I was trying to find the article because there are people that are pushing for him to release the J. There it is. Well, dag nabbit. There it is. What I was looking for. Take a look at this. Like I said, they're now urging Trump to release the JE files after order to declassify everything on JFK. So now let's be real. If you're willing to release all of that information, on JFK, MLK, RFK, release the J-Epi list and files. I think that's the right thing to do. Also release the 9/11 files as well. Because I know for a fact we'd all like to know everything that's going down. And I mean everything. But let me get some of these super chats here really quick. Trophy Wife, what's up? How you doing? Several years ago, the CIA intimidated that the agency was involved in JFK. Yeah, I know that there's been or not intimidated. Several years ago, the CIA intimated. I think you said you're meaning like I don't know. The agency was involved. Okay, if that is the case, if CIA was involved in that, that would be very, very interesting and very, very telling. But that's the question: how much of it is going to be redacted, and how much of it is just going to be everything? Right? How much of it is going to be exposed, and how much of it is going to be redaction? I'm hoping. I think you meant indicated. Maybe that's indicated. Indicated, yeah. Thank you so much. Or insinuated. Yeah, I was like insinuated, maybe, or indicated, maybe. But you're saying that CIA was involved, and or possibly. Let's be real, okay? The feds are watching, so we got to keep it a bean, okay? But still, I am quite curious as to what the truth is going to be. All right. Now, if the CIA is involved, this would be a very bad situation. Okay. This would be a very, very bad situation for the CIA. And the general public would be very, very mad. Also, let's not forget, let's be real, slopey roofs and all that stuff. Remember, they were all supposed to be involved in taking care of, soon to be newly elected President Trump back then in that situation that happened in Pennsylvania. Do we not remember that again? Slopey roofs, they said. Again, it does make you wonder some things. Now, if CIA was involved in that, that would be very bad. But again, this is when people start looking at things. If there's a connection, this is when people start connecting the dots, and then they go, oh, snap, slopey roofs, indeed. Just saying. So something to think about. Okay. Oh, Area 51. Yeah, Area 51. Yes. I would really like to know about that stuff too. Area 51 files, not fikes. Area 51 fikes. Little Patty means files. Okay. But yes. All right. That would be very interesting to see as well. Imagine that, y'all. Imagine that if they release this stuff, people are already asking, and they're already begging Trump to release other information Imagine the other stuff that could drop over the next 4 years. Him declassifying or releasing all documents on Area 51 to 9/11 to J. Epi and then some. Because I know for a fact all of us want to know what the hell is really going on out here in these streets. So that is very interesting in my personal opinion. Now, I have another story, another situation that I do want to share with you guys, but I'm going to share with you guys. I'm going to share that with you guys a little bit later if we have time, because today's a very busy one for me too. Okay. But I did want to share at least those couple pieces of information. There's some other things revolving around this. We're going to talk about it later. Okay. Nikki, thank you so much for the love. Have some coffee on me, Pascal. Thank you so much. In fact, let me get a sip. Thank you. I appreciate that. And thank you so much for the love. All right. Thank you so much for the support. Now, we have got to get into this conversation. All right. A lot of us are wanting to know what the hell is going on. We just kind of sprinkled in this conversation just a few days ago, and it seems like you guys have gotten very interested in this whole Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni situation. Now, something's interesting. Now, I just did a pop-up video about this where I just talked about the story, the IG story that Candace Owens put out, which is very interesting. Now, I want to say this, okay? I'm not a fan of Candace Owens. I'm not. No disrespect to anybody who is a fan of Candace Owens. To each their own, okay? Now, if you don't know who Candace Owens is, she is a political pundit, commentator on things that go on in the world. She is hardcore right, and she is black. She's a black female. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. Do you? If that's what you lean on, that's how you lean. Okay. If that's your bias, that's your political bias, that's your political bias. If you don't know who Candace Owens is, then you're living under a rock. All right. But she's been out here for a minute, and she rose to fame after what she had said about George Floyd. Okay. It definitely catered to a specific demographic, and that demographic hoisted her onto their shoulders, and she has been basically a huge voice in the right side of the political spectrum for the last few years. Now, here's the thing, and I've said this a million times before. Like I said, I do go and listen to her stuff. I will say that. I do listen to her stuff because I want to hear. I listen to her stuff, and I listen to a lot of other people on the right that are known to be hard right, because I like to hear both sides. I like to hear different perspectives. I want to hear what they are saying, what they believe, and I like being challenged because I am a very independent thinker myself. I don't cater to one specific side. That's just me, though. Okay, there are things that Trump has done in the past that I agree with, and there are things that Trump has done in the past that I don't agree with. There are things that Trump is doing right now with all these orders that he's signing that I agree with. And there's a lot of them that I do not agree with at all. So just to make that abundantly clear, that's what I mean by I sit on the fence when it comes to political stuff. Sometimes I agree, sometimes I don't. It just is what it is, because I don't sit in a box. I'm sorry. I don't sit there and go, oh, I must be in this echo chamber, or I must be over here on this echo chamber. F that. I want to think for myself. And I think I have a very interesting approach to the world, just to be completely honest. Like I said, some days it's conservative, some days it's liberal. It's everywhere. Okay. Because some subjects I agree with on certain things with certain sides and vice versa. Right. Now, when it comes to Candace Owens, a broken clock, I believe a broken clock can be correct 2 times a day. Now, I know a lot of people have said that a million times before. Oh, if you don't like her, you don't like her. Okay, fine. You don't have to like her. Okay. I'm not sitting here saying that I'm a fan of her. I just said right off the bat, right before starting to talk about this, that I don't agree with a lot that she says. But there are some times where I'm like, that's thought-provoking. Interesting. Some things she goes way off the rails to the point where it's tinfoil hat time and it's ancient aliens, man. There's some things that are just way off. She spins right off the planet. I'm sorry, with all due respect, off the planet. Okay. But there are things where it's like, oh, that's interesting. Interesting information. Something to think about. Like I said, just because you don't agree with somebody does not mean that you disagree with everything that they say, right? Now, here's something interesting. So just yesterday, she put up a lot of stories. And these stories, I will be honest, were very thought-provoking. And this all revolved around her basically exposing Ryan Reynolds. She's alleging that through an anonymous source, that Ryan Reynolds is the real reason why all of this has transpired. Yes, this is what she's saying. Now, one thing I'm going to say before we jump into all of this, number one, I'm wondering who this anonymous source is. Of course, she can't relay or give that information out because it's an anonymous source. And I'm sure she doesn't want to, expose her source out of respect of that source. But I'm hoping that this particular person was properly vetted before she even put this information out here, because these are some seriously damning and damaging allegations that she's putting out here on her social media. You also got to remember, Candace Owens is a very, very, very popular voice out here in these internet streets. Like I said, just because I don't agree with her on a lot of things does not mean I don't listen to what she says and think some of the things that she says is thought-provoking. That's it. It's challenging information that she puts out. But what's interesting about this, though, is what she says here in her stories. She's got a huge platform, so I would hope she would not be messy. Does that make sense? Not be messy without hard evidence, without hard facts, without the receipts. But this narrative that she dresses up makes a lot of sense. In fact, I even said it. When we recently talked about this case just a few days ago. A lot of what she's saying is exactly what I thought was going on. Yes, you can clap now. Yeah. I know. Your boy's a genius sometimes. Not all the time, but I'm a genius sometimes. Okay? Even my broken clock can be right 2 times a day. So now, what's very interesting about this, all right, is what she says in this IG story. And there's a lot that she says. So let's get into this, shall we? All right. And of course, by the way, don't forget, hit that like button down below, please. And thank you. Crush it. Do it what it do. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And if you're watching from the nosebleed seats, you're watching on the outskirts, come on in. Let's have a conversation, because like I said, we talked about this on my second channel. But we're going to be deep diving into this even more on this particular show. So come on in. Get comfortable. It's time to get a conversation. All right. Get a conversation started. That's what I mean. So she says, no show today. This was yesterday. She posted this. We are working on our Macron piece, which is she has some wild accusations about. Yeah, she has some wild accusations about Macron. Okay. So let's continue on. All right. But I've received some interesting, information. She means very interesting information for those of us who are invested in the Justin Baldoni v. Blake Lively debacle. She continues saying, yesterday I received a tip from someone who allegedly worked on the set of quote unquote It Ends With Us. Lately, everyone is bashing Blake Lively. But apparently, the true villain in the saga is, drumroll please, Ryan Reynolds. Now, if you guys are a little late to the party, because I know a lot of people are like, when I posted this on my second channel, some of y'all were like, I was confused. So let me explain this. Justin Baldoni, Blake Lively were in a movie. Justin Baldoni was directing this movie as well. The movie was called It Ends With Us. It was an adaptation from a book called, with the same title, about a woman dealing with being a victim and a survivor of DV. And it kind of, there's like a love triangle and all that crap in it too. Okay. Blake Lively's the star of the movie. There was a lot of issues on set. So much that when the movie did come out, there was an interesting campaign going on. Some would say it was a smear campaign against Blake Lively. Some others would just basically say that there was just a huge rift between the actor and the director and also star of the movie as well, because of creative differences. So much that there were some other things that said that there was a lot of scenes that were rewritten, or a couple scenes that were rewritten by Ryan Reynolds himself. There was a lot of allegations of Blake Lively wanting it to be a rom-com, like a romantic comedy, and of course, that Justin Baldoni's like, no, this is about a woman dealing with DV and how she gets out of it and how things were kind of lost in translation and blah, 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 right? So there was a lot of tension. Then out of nowhere in December, if I'm correct, she drops a major lawsuit against Baldoni saying that he had done all these crazy things to her, talking about things that were inappropriate in the work environment and all that stuff, making it a very hostile work environment to begin with. I think that's all information to know right there. All right. So this theory, and I don't understand why people are getting upset about me talking about this theory that's being put out here that everybody and their mama is starting to talk about as well. So yeah, we gonna talk about it. Sorry, not sorry. This is a very interesting theory that also echoes what I think as well. She goes a little bit further than what I think, but it's in the same realm of what I think could have possibly happened. And the thing is could Ryan Reynolds just be jealous? So let's continue on. So this person is alleging that everything started. Let me blow this up so you guys see it better. That everything started when Ryan Reynolds decided to stroll onto the movie set one day and review the dailies. This is an industry term for all the footage that they filmed for that day. She says in parentheses, I learned about that term 5 days ago. Yes. So all the footage that you're out there, when you're shooting, all the takes, all the mess ups, all the final picture, all the things that are going to go into the final cut, all that stuff. Those are called dailies. All right. Those are outtakes. All the outtakes and the final product. All of them are dailies until it gets edited into a movie. Okay. Just so you know. So he apparently went in there and he was watching these takes while on that set. He then also decided to take a look at the script between the two. Something between the two, something allegedly set him off. So he was reading some scenes from the script. He was looking at the dailies, and apparently he saw something, either chemistry on camera or something of that sort, or he read the script and he's like, there are way too many makeout scenes with my wife. I got a big problem with this. You guys are way too handsy in this script. Wait, there's this love scene every 5 pages. What the hell's going on here? What? Not my wife. That's possible, right? Then he saw the footage and maybe there was a little extra twinkle in her eye. And he's like, no, I know my wife. That's not my wife acting. That is chemistry. And now I don't want them bumping uglies, but behind my back, hail to the nah. That's possible. This person claims, in parentheses, I cannot verify, which is kind of important, being able to verify information, okay, that the production assistants then overheard Ryan and Blake having an argument in her trailer after he saw the dailies. Not good. Remember, this is all alleged. She has not been able to verify these things, but this is all out here. Okay. Ryan Reynolds started being on the set on a regular basis. Started being on the set on a regular basis as if he were her chaperone. And that is when he started inserting himself into the actual production, including writing lines. This is what the anonymous source said. The next part is what has been alleged via their lawsuits. Ryan and Blake, perhaps in response to husband's anger, began inserting himself in an effort to change lines and change scenes. But it gets better. It's clear Ryan was determined to humiliate and quote unquote win against Justin Baldoni. He went so far as to include lines in his separate movie, Deadpool and Wolverine, about having an intimacy coordinator on set and making fun of Justin Baldoni's feminism and his podcast. This is what Justin's team is alleging. I looked at the evidence and I think it's undeniably true. Now, let's be real. For those of y'all that don't know, okay? And yes, Candy, I do agree with that too. All right, let's keep it a bean. PAs have all the tea. They have all the information. Let's be real. They're on the set. They're seeing people argue. They're seeing how somebody's like, I need you to shoot me on my good side. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff. Or I only want red M&Ms. You know what I mean? I'm superstitious. There's a lot of that. Real talk. There's a lot of crazy. All right. I only like red M&Ms. They all taste the same, bruh. There is no flavor. It's just all chocolate, man. But hey, people are crazy. Okay. But yes, PAs would know all of that because they're glorified step and fetch it. Real talk. They're running to get the coffee, the sushi, all that stuff. Okay. But they know a lot of stuff too. I am sure. But what's interesting about this is we're going to see in a couple of things where the Deadpool and Wolverine scene showing Ryan Reynolds playing nice pool. You're going to see it in a second. Okay. She did a good job with laying this out. I'm going to be real. She did a good job laying this out. Let me continue. You'll see it in just a little bit. Okay. Also, this is not the first time Ryan Reynolds has used his quote unquote character to humiliate someone he didn't like. More evidence of that later. But Ryan then allegedly presented an ultimatum to WME, the biggest talent agency in Hollywood, whose client roster include everyone from Taylor Swift all the way to Justin Baldoni. It's us or it's him, paraphrasing Ryan Reynolds' alleged ultimatum to WME. So it was him, Blake Lively, and did we mention our bestie is Taylor Swift? Sort of situation, allegedly. Or did we mention our bestie is Taylor Swift sort of situation? Allegedly. The source for this is a different source that would definitely know. Interesting. I would imagine having Taylor Swift as your best friend and godmother to your children certainly helps these sort of situations. Here's what happened next. So, Justin Baldoni dropped by WME in wake of Blake Lively SH allegations. That's interesting. Looks like Khaleesi's Dragons won until what Ryan Reynolds did not apparently account for was someone bigger or perhaps maybe just richer than Taylor Swift who got unfairly dragged by his jealous bender. Wow. Wayfarer Studios had effectively been instantly blackballed, persona non grata in Hollywood instantly. And truly, they had done nothing wrong but cast a woman into one of their movies with an quote unquote allegedly very jealous husband. My source says that Justin Baldoni is legitimately a good guy who truly wanted to do this project but he cares deeply about women's issues. Wayfarer Studios was meant to be a quote unquote feel good family movie studio. Wayfarer Studios is backed by Steve Sarowitz, a super liberal billionaire who is at the point in his life where he wants to just do good. I'm sure he donates a lot of money to causes that I hate, but whatever, not the point to the story. Okay, so yeah, obviously his political bias is not part of this situation. But of course, you know how it is. We live in a world where as soon as it's like you rock with Trump, I don't like you. You rock with Biden, I don't like you. You know what I mean? It's insane. We live in a crazy world. How much money are we talking? Here it is. The city's newest billionaire doesn't plan to die one. Okay, so this founder, Steve Sarowitz, and his wife Jessica plan to give $1 billion to charity during their lifetimes, and shutter the family foundation when they pass. Okay, so they want to give their money away. That's what's up. That's to each their own. That's their money. Same Steve. Can't wait to casually give away billions of dollars before I pass too. That's the goal. Anyways, Wayfarer Do Good Studios being blacklisted because Ryan Reynolds is acting fake, and she says this word, gay, likely didn't sit well with him. And honestly, because I've heard her show a bunch of times, she's really trying to bring that word back into the vernacular. I'm sorry. But real talk, she's basically saying that Ryan Reynolds is acting fake and stupid. That's basically it, right? Acting fake and ridiculous, okay? Likely didn't sit well with him, okay? Moving on. Here is what I think likely happened. My opinion. Ryan Reynolds is grossly insecure. This in part motivated by the fact that he dates and married a woman or women, that are at least over a decade younger than him. That's not entirely true, but okay. Almost a decade. He met ScarJo or Scarlett Johansson when she was just 20 years old. He was 28 when they got married and then divorced. She came very close to saying that it didn't work because of jealousy, his jealousy. And here's an article where she talks, ScarJo speaks out, basically saying the logistics of being with another actor are challenging. There has to be a real understanding of how you share your time, especially when two people's careers are going at the same rate, or even if one person is more successful than the other. That also proves challenging. There may be a competitive thing. Now, again, I think that if these allegations are true, let's not forget there is a possibility of him feeling some type of way because of her career. Her career is blowing up with ScarJo, with Scarlett Johansson. Her career is blowing up. All right. Her career is still blowing up. She's Scarlett Johansson, for crying out loud. But during that time when he was with her, he was the Green Lantern. And that movie was trash. Okay. Now, I know some of y'all will be like, that was a good movie. He did good effort. I give him props for a good effort. But that movie was trash. Okay. Let's be real. All right. With all this information, so you know that's probably jealousy just on that, right? Just on that. You're successful. You're getting called to do all these movies and all that. I'm still doing these rom-coms. I'm doing this action movie that's terrible. I'm doing a movie that's going straight to DVD or going straight to going straight to streaming. He's trying to be a household name. But he clearly became a household name over time, obviously. But during that time with Scarlett Johansson, he might have been trying to just still cut his teeth and try to get out there more. Okay. But moving on. Let's get into this. With all this information, when you reflect on just how much Ryan inserted himself into the film, and his weird pattern of acting his personal frustrations out, the following clip is going to be really weird. Ryan did this to help, quote unquote, promote It Ends With Us, and he brought in another A-lister, Hugh Jackman. He did do this. I remember this, but let's take a look at this vid.
Okay. Oh, God. This is cool. It's not every day the husband gets to interview his wife's love interest in a film. It's kind of crazy.
Now, again, this is very interesting. It's a very interesting allegation. But again, we look at it and go, this is kind of funny, right? Oh, it's funny. He's coming in. He's got a lot of star power now. He's Ryan Reynolds now. He's Deadpool. He's hilarious. He's awesome. He's this, and this, right? And then suddenly you're looking at this this specific angle as, oh, it's just funny. You know what I mean? But then now you look at it this angle and you go, wow, he's literally doing this in plain sight. If this is true, if this allegation and this theory is true, but this is a crazy theory. Is it not? It's a crazy theory, but it almost works. It almost fits. But it's all about perspective, guys. Think about that. It's all about perspective and how it's being seen. And this perspective is very, like I said, very interesting. But let's continue on. Imagine being Justin Baldoni in the midst of all the drama that we now know was happening behind the scenes. Blake's husband then decides to write or to create a quote-unquote funny skit with another one of his A-list buddies to promote your film. As I said, this was about humiliation. Very, very interesting. Ryan Reynolds has been accused of this sort of, shall we call it, character A, because we got to use these code words, in the past. In other words, he pretends he's acting, but he's not really acting at all. Let's take a look at what Deadpool actor let's take a look at what a Deadpool actor had to say about him. Now, this, by the way, is TJ Miller saying his experience working with Ryan Reynolds.
You know he hates
We
you.
had a really weird moment on Deadpool where he said, let's do one more take. And everyone was like, okay. And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. And then as the character, he was like horrifically mean to me, but to me,
Cathartic.
as if I'm Weasel.
Right.
Mhm.
So he was like, what's great about you, Weasel? You're not the star, but you just, you do just enough exposition that it's funny. And then we can leave and get back to the real
So he's
movie.
riffing.
Okay. We got to talk about this one. All right. We do need to talk about this. All right. Because there's something about this that seems a bit off. First off, TJ Miller, let me keep it a bean with y'all. First off, TJ Miller lost his career. His career got destroyed during the whole Me Too movement. He basically got canceled and blackballed in the industry as well. He was not written back into Wolverine and Deadpool, or Deadpool and Wolverine. He was not put in there in the movie for very specific reasons because of the things that he was being accused of back in the day. So sure, I'm sure there was a rift between him and Ryan Reynolds at some point. But at the same time, though, this guy is saying something that even I look at this and say, I don't think that this is completely accurate. I just don't. I'll explain it in just a minute. Let's hear a little bit more of what he got to say.
Well, he's right.
Obviously.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's exactly why he said that.
How much riffing?
Because I'm not funnier than he is at all, right?
much
And I
ri-
haven't been in more movies than him. Yeah,
Don't
exactly.
agitate the guest, Brian. How much riffing was done?
A lot, and he's a great improviser.
And how
You know what
much
I
of
mean?
it
And-
made the cut?
A lot of it, and then the stuff that they kept, and you see in the reel, it's a lot of it is what he's doing. I'm riffing. Also, the writers were so incredible. But that's what's
But what went
it sort of-
south in
it
that
sort of
moment? Did you
ended-
react to it?
I just kind of listened and thought it was weird. And then I got off stage because then they finally were like, cut. And then I got off stage and I walked over and the whole crew was acting weird. And then I went up to Kate and I was like, that was weird, right? And she was like, of course it was fucking weird. It was insane. It was insane. And everybody was looking at each other like, what the fuck is he doing?
Okay. Now, here's the thing. There's a little bit that I have to say about this. All right. First and foremost, when it comes to, let's just put that back.
But what went
it's sort of-
south?
I want you guys to listen, hear me out. If you don't know the Deadpool shows, the pictures, or even the comic book, the character Wade Wilson literally breaks the fourth wall. And what I mean by the fourth wall is basically what I'm doing right now. Okay, the fourth wall is the screen. The fourth wall is the audience watching the movie. He breaks the fourth wall to the point where he breaks a fifth wall. It's pretty crazy. All right. He goes beyond just going through the fourth wall to the point where he goes, okay, I know TJ Miller's the actor playing Weasel, so I'm going to make fun of the actor himself. He does that in Deadpool and Wolverine. He'll rip Hugh Jackman to shreds while in the movie. He'll be like, oh yeah, he's, it's surprising how in fantastic shape he is given the fact that he just got divorced. You know what I mean? He says all these kinds of things in the movie about the particular actors that are acting in the actual movie playing that part. Does that make sense? So as TJ Miller is acting as Weasel in this movie, Reynolds is basically breaking character and also ripping on TJ Miller. You see what I'm saying? So it's actually not an unprofessional thing if you know the movie and the breakdown of the movie and how the movie works. You see what I'm saying? It's a different story if the movie wasn't like that at all. If you didn't know that person is going to be making snarky comments about everything in the movie, it'd be a different story. But this is on camera and they're improvising and he's breaking character to throw in jabs at the actual actor that's in the movie as well. Now, it could very well be interpreted as him being just a complete a-hole, a complete jerk, or it could literally be him trying to throw jokes given the fact that, yes, TJ Miller is not the lead in this movie. Ryan Reynolds is. He's playing a smaller part. He's playing a supporting role. He's throwing out jabs as a joke. So like I said, it can be interpreted as something else. It can be interpreted as him just being in the scene making jokes, because in this movie, he's an absolute a-hole in the movie. In all of the movies, all three of them, he's an absolute a-hole. That's the whole point. That's Wade Wilson's character. And clearly that's Ryan Reynolds' character as well, right? But like I said, not only is he making jabs, taking jabs at, or, giving jabs at like every single actor in the movie, okay, but he's making jokes about the actor itself, not only just the character, but the actor that's playing the character as well. It's hard to explain, but if you go and watch the movie, you're going to see it and go, oh, okay, I see what's going on here. No, he's just making a joke. You know what I mean? He's making a joke, right? But I can see TJ Miller looking at that, and I can see both sides. I can see TJ Miller looking at this and going, no, that was out of line, man. You went too far, right? Or Ryan Reynolds is basically saying, hey, I was just making a joke. I was just being a smart aleck, for lack of a better curse word. Okay. So I can see both sides. But at the same time, this is the same moment when around the same time that TJ Miller got into some serious trouble. And we haven't really seen TJ Miller out here acting as of late. Let's keep it a bean. Okay. I haven't seen him in any movies since the scandals that he was involved in as well. So like I said, you can look at it and I can see how he can look back at that and go, wow, he was just an absolute a-hole, or Ryan Reynolds was trying to find something funny and just said, F it, I'm just going to go with it. right? I'm just going to go with it and just crack these jokes. What I'm going to go to the extreme, and then we'll cut it later. You see what I'm saying? So that could be it too. All right. But let's continue on. All right. Again, I'm not trying to take Ryan Reynolds' side. Okay. But I also know those movies very, very well. And Deadpool and Wolverine was hilarious. And I thought was really, really good. Now that we know more information about things, it does tarnish the movie's experience a lot a bit. But there are some things in it that I'm like, this is very interesting. But the TJ Miller one, I'm like, that's up for argument for sure. But then again, if he believes that TJ Miller believes that Ryan Reynolds was a complete butthole to him, then he was a butthole. Crazy. But there's more to this, though. There's more, which is crazy in my personal opinion. So she continues. Final thoughts. I think Ryan Reynolds is unhinged. Okay, moving on. I think Blake was fine with everything in the movie she signed on for, hence not requesting an intimacy coordinator. And then all that changed the day her husband showed up to the set and allegedly blew a fuse. Ryan maybe sensed real chemistry between them on camera when he reviewed the dailies, and he felt insecure because, well, Ryan himself tends to fall in love on set as well. He's done it apparently twice. That's how he met his ex-wife, Scarlett Johansson, and that's how he met Blake Lively as well. Very interesting. This theory is very interesting. So he tried to peacock Justin Baldoni, who is objectively more attractive than Ryan. I guess I leave that to you. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. By injecting himself into every layer of the movie, from script to the promos, and reminding Justin exactly who the A-lister is. That is why Ryan was there every step of the way, and I sense it was him that demanded Justin be put in the basement for the premiere. So apparently during the premiere, Baldoni was in the basement of the premiere in a separate thing. That's one thing that's very interesting as well. Okay, that's also something very, very interesting. But again, they're sitting there saying, "Hey, he injected himself into the movie. He wrote a scene, their first scene together as well. He allegedly rewrote the scene. Why would he do that? So that he feels a little bit better? I don't know. Okay." I don't know. But let's continue on. Blake, in my view, was not discomforted by Justin, but by her husband. And she had to pretend to see things his way. This situation has now spiraled out of control. At the center of it is a small man. Wow. Ryan Reynolds with a fragile ego. Now, again, it's a very interesting theory. Moving on. Feels appropriate to end this by saying, "You know me, you love me." XOXO Gossip Girl. I guess that's a quote from the movie or from the show, because Blake Lively was on the show Gossip Girl as well. In case you haven't seen the Wolverine and Deadpool scene where Ryan is taking a stab at Justin Baldoni, here you are. To note, in Blake's complaint, which we should maybe start referring to as Ryan's complaint. She mentions that Justin made a comment to her trainer about her postpartum weight. So here is the video.
Who are you? Oh, I'm Deadpool. And I guess you're Deadpool too. But in here, everybody calls me Nice Pool. Oh my goodness, wait till you see Lady Pool. She is gorgeous. She just had a baby too, and can't even tell. I don't think you're supposed to say that. That's okay. I identify as a feminist. Right.
Very interesting. Now, I'm sorry, I have to hit that. Now, here's the thing. There's been a lot of speculation and theory about that, and there was an allegation saying that Justin Baldoni saying basically, hey, he took the man bun, the long hair, all that stuff, and he is making fun of me. Nice Pool is supposed to be me. What's even crazier about the Nice Pool character That character, I'm sorry, if you haven't seen the movie, I'm ruining the ending for this part of Nice Pool's storyline. Nice Pool loses his life at the end of Wolverine and Deadpool. Just so you know, he gets riddled by a bunch of bullets. Real talk. And being held by by Deadpool, the main character himself. I'm sorry. It's insane. So in the movie, of course, Ryan Reynolds wants to have, I'm sure he had creative, creative freedom for Wolverine and Deadpool. But he sat there and he said, wow. He said, I am so tired of this dude. And he wrote the man into the movie. Then did the man bun with the 5 o'clock shadow thing, looking all perfect and everything. And then he's like, no, I'm a feminist. And he's talking about all this stuff. And then at the very end of the movie, or near the end of the movie, Nice Pool, which is what he's called in the script, Nice Pool ends up getting axed. He uses Ryan Reynolds, or, Deadpool, uses Nice Pool as a human shield. And he's like, oh, yeah, you'll heal. And Nice Pool's like, I can't heal. I don't have that superpower. And the dude just straight up dies. Wow. That's all I'm saying. Now you got Deadpool. You got Nice Pool action figurines out here, by the way. I'm not kidding. There are action figures of Nice Pool. So there's a guy there. So Ryan Reynolds used this opportunity to get all of his passive aggression out on this Justin Baldoni guy by writing him into the movie and getting that character axed near the end of the movie. It is the craziest thing I've ever seen. Because now when you piece it all together, you're like, oh my damn, this is insane, yo. That's for real what happened, though? This is insane. And it is. It's really insane. Like I said, if these allegations are true, holy crap. And if that's true, then Ryan Reynolds was most definitely in his fee-fees. So much that he wrote him into the movie. Wrote him into the movie just so he can get him axed at the end of the movie. Man. Wow. Okay, moving on. That's insane, guys. Because that's what Baldoni is also alleging as well. So, also, continuing into the story here, into her IG story, she says, also, if you have any insider scoop on what happened or have worked with Ryan Reynolds, Blake Lively, etc. in the past, you can email her, blah, blah, blah. She says, I promise I'll keep it anonymous, so on and so forth. Moving on. She's making stuff. Then she goes, okay, just one more thing about Ryan Reynolds potentially being a psychopath. And then I promise I'm going to bed. Here's Tim Miller. Tim Miller was the director for the first Deadpool movie. That's important information. Tim Miller, like Justin Baldoni, was a director of a film called Deadpool, the first one. Okay. It was the first original movie, okay, in which Ryan Reynolds was cast as the lead and given a producer credit. Y'all never guess what happened. You'll never guess what happened. You'll never guess what happened. Despite Miller's significant contribution to Deadpool's success, he left the franchise due to creative differences with Ryan Reynolds, who played the lead role and produced the movie. According to him, the actor wanted to control the franchise. Yep. Our neighborhood psychopath pushed him out of the movie. It's Ryan. He's the villain. I'm suddenly so nervous for Blake. This is like a clinical pattern of behavior. Moving on, Ryan Reynolds reportedly wants to buy out Justin Baldoni from It Ends With Us at any cost. So Ryan Reynolds is reportedly looking forward to buying Justin Baldoni out of It Ends With Us if it means that his beloved Blake Lively gets to reprise her role for the sequel of the hit movie. Now, I'm telling you right now, after all of this, do you really think that there's going to be room for a sequel? This whole thing's dead in the ground. I'm telling you right now, this whole thing's dead in the ground. So make it make sense. Moving on, ladies, please know that your man showing up at work with his A-list homies, trying to buy the company that you work for while starting fights with your boss is not the definition of love. There is nothing romantic about controlling A. We got to use these. We got to use these code words. So, wild stuff. Wild stuff. Let me just say this. And let me tell you, first off, yes, WOW, wow, indeed. Okay. Pretty wild information. Now, here's the thing. What she's laid out is something that does make a lot of sense. I can see that narrative. I can see if you lay out the tracks that way, it makes sense. It can lead down where it went. But then at the same time, you can lay this out so many different ways. Like I said, you can lay out the blocks to this, restructure things, and make it turn into something else. Is Ryan Reynolds the villain in this situation? I don't know. Is Ryan Reynolds the villain in this? I don't know. Is Blake Lively the villain in this? Possibly. Is Justin Baldoni the villain in this? Very possible as well. All of them are very possible. Like I said, you can lay it out this way, but then there's many ways to fry an egg. Okay, there are many ways to look at this. There's many angles to look at this situation. Because even so, I look at it and I'm like, does she just think that everyone's just obsessed with her? She could literally go and look in that route too. Oh, you're just so obsessed with me. Just because it says, "Hey, I'm about to go get some water. You want some? You want a bottle of water. I'm about to go get a bottle of water." And she can sit there and go, "Oh, he so wants me. He so wants me. He's so obsessed with me." You see what I'm saying? Like that literally could be it too. It's so insane. It's so insane. But then I said something a couple days ago where I said the theory that I have is maybe she said something that made Ryan Reynolds feel some type of way, or he saw something that made Ryan Reynolds feel some type of way. So suddenly she was obligated to change the narrative to make it seem like, no, he's so all over me. He's always in my face, blah, blah, blah. Honey, no, there's no attraction. It's all on that side. It's not for me. It's not for me at all. There's no attraction whatsoever, babe. I'm just working. I'm trying to get this picture done. This has nothing to do with no, I don't have any feelings for him. He's the one who's expressing those things to me, not me. You see what I'm saying? So her doing everything she can to try to calm him down. I mean, that's possible. But why does it turn into something like this? How? And that's the question. How does it turn into something exactly like this? To me, it feels like there must have been something else super hardcore that happened that made Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively take this to a whole nother level. Let's be real. She could have stopped this a long time ago. See, that's the thing. This is on her too. As much as we look at this and we're like, oh, damn, so-and-so, and we're feeling some type of way about these things. And we're pointing our fingers at, like, we're sitting there going, oh, we're team Justin. We're team Blake. Whatever side you're on, think about this. If that narrative that was put out here by Candace Owens, if it is 100% true, the person also to blame is not only just Ryan Reynolds, it's also Blake Lively. Why? Why, you ask? Because she has a responsibility as well. Her responsibility is to go over to Ryan and go, chill the F out, Ryan. No, we're not doing anything anymore. Let's cancel all these lawyers. Let's drop all this stuff. Let's stop. Please, let's just stop. This is not helping me, and this is definitely not helping him either. And this is now not going to help you too. This is tarnishing your name and your brand as well. But is she doing that? What? I'm sorry. I can't hear you. Is she doing that? Okay, I'll answer for you. Hell to the no. Hell no, she ain't doing that right now. She ain't doing that at all. She's letting it roll. Again, if this theory is correct, and if this theory is correct, man, oh man, this is not good. And I'll tell you what, this is the responsibility of all of them. Because I'm sure something was done. Something happened. Something must have happened that made one of them think something. Let's not forget, allegedly he was talking about his corn addiction. No, I'm not talking about the vegetable. I'm talking about that hub, that P hub. Talking to her about his addiction to P hub or, spicy content. What? So on and so on. Now, I know that there's been other allegations that he has tried to debunk in his lawsuit as well, basically saying, I didn't show her any nude photos. These were paintings and other things that were just beautiful portraits and stuff like that. It wasn't anything like that just suddenly got turned upside down, turned sideways to appease her particular narrative. But I still do believe that something odd happened, something off happened. Whose fault that is, I do not know. But how can it go from a lingering glance or chemistry on camera? How can it go from that to suddenly where we're at right now? Again, if these things are true and her husband's the one that's spearheading everything, she has a responsibility to try to stop these things from happening, because now you have the world. We're even watching it. We're even talking about it right now. We're all putting our 2 cents in about this whole situation. This whole thing could have been stopped. She could have thwarted this whole thing before it got really, really bad. Now, here's the thing, though. I'm not just blaming her, okay? I'm not. But she is, and I'm just only talking on the side of, if Ryan Reynolds is the one that has something to do with trying to destroy Justin Baldoni, she has a responsibility as her partner to look at him and go, baby, chill out. Time out. But if it's the other way around and it's her trying to destroy Justin, that's Ryan Reynolds' responsibility as a partner and a spouse as well, to turn to his wife and say, honey, do you really think this is the best way to do this? Because all the allegations are still weird. Let's talk about this. Let's work this thing out. Do we really have to do this on the public, on the public stage, on the world stage? I just feel like there's a different way that this could have been handled. And I think that there could have been a different way that they could have handled the situation during the media, when they were doing the media push for the movie as well. Not all this had to get crazy like this, unless, and only unless, things really did hit the fan the way that some people are saying it did. So like I said, this is just very, very sad. Very sad. And of course, it's a situation where you have somebody who is working, like you got 3 people who are working actors. They're all trying to get what they need to do. Or they're all trying to get what they want to get. They all have a place in the Hollywood machine. And now everything's getting tarnished because of this. I'm just wondering, what is the truth? What isn't? Is it really Ryan Reynolds that is the villain? Is he just some crazy, jealous husband that, shoot, wife can't even talk to a man for 5 seconds without him getting upset and all riled up? I don't know. But like I said, this lawsuit, and if he has something to do with it, and if this really is a lawsuit or a complaint written by him, that was her responsibility to get into the middle of it and try to stop things. Let's be real. Not I'll just say this. No relationship is perfect. And if this was during a rough time or a rough patch between them, then why take it out on a guy who is just doing his job? And if the allegations are fake, and we're just going to lean on that for a second, Justin Baldoni did nothing wrong then, if that's the case. And it's just an interpretation by a man who is fueled by his own jealousy. If that's the case, then this is sad. But again, we don't know the full truth. We don't know everything yet. So we'll see what happens as things go on. But I'm telling you right now, Lively and Reynolds have a lot of explaining to do. I really do think that. In fact, I think Baldoni does too. There's something's not right. Something's off. Something happened. And I'm quite curious about what really happened. Because there's got to be something. There's got to be something, just one little thing that got Ryan Reynolds or Blake Lively to believe something else was going on. It's got to be. You can't tell me it's just one lingering look on camera that suddenly turned into this now is an SH lawsuit. Something else is going on here. That's what I truly believe. All right. But we got to do a little bit of a left turn because there is something else that I did want to share with you guys that I think is kind of funny. It's just funny. It's something that's percolating out here in these streets. People are talking about this, and I think this is absolutely ridiculous. I'm just going to say it. All right. People are talking about, first off, there's a rumor rolling around here saying that Barack Obama is getting divorced from Michelle Obama. Okay? Like I said, this is about to be ridiculous. In my personal opinion, I think this is ridiculous. But now there's new speculation saying that Jennifer Aniston and Barack Obama, former President Barack Obama, are having an affair. Okay, let me just tell you. On my 2025 bingo card, I did not expect this on that at all. Okay? This is left field. This is absolutely left field. And let me tell you this. This is gossip. Real talk. It is absolute ridiculous gossip. And I know some people are taking it and they're trying to run with it. They're trying to make things, you know what I mean? Oh, they haven't seen Michelle out with Obama and this, and this. Come on, y'all. Come on. Really? Really? No, if you're not catching that, Elise, I don't believe it. I don't. I think people have nothing better to do but to speculate because you have Michelle Obama not showing up to the inauguration of Trump. Then you have her not showing up to former President Carter's funeral. So people automatically assume, oh, there's trouble in paradise. And let me just preface this by saying this, all right? First off, no marriage is perfect. No marriage is perfect. Let me repeat that again. No marriage is perfect. Everyone has their ups and downs, their peaks and their valleys. Sometimes the valleys last for years. Sometimes the peaks last for days. But real talk. Come on. Really? Now, of course, people have been talking about this. And like I said, this is I think it's an absolute waste of time. I truly believe that this is an absolute waste of time. Why would you automatically think that this is somebody who is... No, I don't believe it. I don't. And until I actually see proof, I'm not going to believe it until there's actual proof. You see what I'm saying? Like, unless they're walking hand in hand, at an event, I really think that people are feeling some type of way about Michelle Obama not being at this particular event, at 2 different events. And so they're just trying to attack. That's what I think. I don't believe that these rumors are true. Apparently, these rumors have been around for a while as well. And again, it's a rumor that I've never seen proof of those rumors. I've never seen proof of it. Now, again, if this is true, Obama got a lot of explaining to do. Okay. Barry got a lot of explaining to do. And of course, there are going to be a lot of people upset if this is the truth. But like I said, it's rumors. And I don't know why people are out here occupying their brains on a rumor. Listen, I'm not here trying to defend Obama or Jennifer Aniston at all. All I'm saying is, where's the proof? Where's the proof? I know that she was on an interview a few months back, because I guess this is where the rumor basically kind of popped off. So I'm going to share that with you guys here too. And she was on Jimmy Kimmel talking about this. And let me preface this by saying this. She knew that this question was coming. Every late night show was scripted. So she knew that he was going to ask her this question. So she acts like she's all surprised, like, oh my God, you answer that ridiculous question. But here's the thing, though. It's scripted. So she knew exactly what he was going to be asking. All right. But this is a very interesting video, and we need to take a look at this.
Right.
And do you ever worry about that? Like, for instance, this is a magazine that came out a couple of weeks ago. In fact, said the truth about Jen and Barack.
Now, here's the thing. Again, this is scripted. So she already knows that he's going to be asking this question. So she's acting, at least in this part. But she responds, and some people are taking this and they're looking at this and they're saying, oh, no, she's lying. I don't know. I don't think so. But I think this is just a ridiculous rumor. But let's continue.
That was of all the calls you get from your publicist where you're just like, oh no, what's it going to be? Or the email saying, some cheesy tabloid is going to make up a story. And then it's that.
Yeah. Does your publicist ever go like...
She said, I was not mad at it because, of course, a lot of people look at Obama and say he's a good-looking man, right? But that doesn't mean anything. But at the same time, it's interesting.
Is there any truth to this? Or is it...
No, that is absolutely untrue.
Well, I know it's not true. Yeah. I just don't know if everybody knows.
Well, it is untrue.
Some people, it is untrue. So the truth about Jen and Barack is that there is no truth.
There is no truth.
Untrue. You know Barack Obama.
I've met him once.
Met him once.
I know Michelle more than him.
What is there a truth about you and Michelle that we should know?
That is not true.
So, no.
Okay. So again, you know what I mean? You look. Oh, thanks, King Bob. I appreciate that. Stop it. More, please. More. I need that. Gas me up, please. Gas me up. All right. No, I appreciate it. But let me just tell you that. Okay. Let me tell you something. Awkward. But the allegations are coming out because now they're saying that there's divorce rumors coming out about Michelle and Obama. And the only reason why it's coming out is because of how they're not in the same room at the same time as of the most recent things, like the inauguration of Trump, the funeral for former President Carter. All of a sudden, everyone's like, well, she ain't at these big events, so they must be having troubles. That's not the case. Let's be real. Michelle Obama got her own thing going on too. There could be scheduling differences, etc. Any of those things are possible. Okay. But again, I'm going to ask you guys, I'll just put that out there. Do you really think that there's an extramarital affair going on behind Michelle Obama's back with Jennifer Aniston? Really? If you believe it to be true, then that's interesting. I just don't see it. But I've been proven wrong a million times before. I would love to see the proof. That's just it. And now, of course, people are riding on this train, on this theory, and I think this theory needs to just be put to bed. Because now you got people who are very hard on the right, taking this and running with it, putting out, saying all kinds of different allegations, and certain types of allegations towards Michelle Obama herself as well. Some people saying all this whole thing, that their marriage was a setup for him to become president and all that stuff. It's insane, guys. It's insane. But you know what I'm talking about. As soon as you give them an inch, they're gonna turn that into ancient aliens. Real talk. But this is the most ridiculous thing I've heard in a really, really long time. And hopefully, if this rumor is just a rumor, I'm hoping that gets squashed here in the very near future, because that's just ridiculous, in my personal opinion. I just don't see it, and I'll wait to see when the proof actually comes out for all of us to see. But you can miss me with that nonsense, in my personal opinion. Anyway, guys, that is the show. I appreciate all y'all for being here. It really means a lot. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. Thank you so very much. Okay? Do me a favor, though, before we get going, hit that like button down below. Hit that reaction button as well. If you're watching on those other platforms like Facebook, X/Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, make sure, and Rumble, let's make sure you're hitting that follow button on those platforms, please, and thank you. Don't forget to subscribe here on my main channel, Dag Nabbit. Go to my secondary channel, The Pascal Show Clips. Subscribe to that secondary channel, please, and thank you. All right? And of course, hit that join button down below, become a member, check out my Patreon, check out my locals, and of course, check out PascalMerch.com. We got some really great merch over there, guys. Go check it out. It's fantastical. So go check it out. Okay, guys? But anyway, guys, it is time to get going. Much love to you guys. I love all y'all. Have a great, positive rest of your day. And we will be talking very, very soon. Stay blessed out there. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. We'll talk soon. This is The Pascal Show. Bye.